जय हिंद फ्रेंड्स। मैं ग्रुप कैप्टन श्रीवास्तवा। आई एम योर साइक mentor and dossier analyst. Young friends, before we come to the subject matter of today's video, let me make an announcement that the next guidance program is going to commence from 8th of July. Friends, you see the details of the course on the slide commencing on 8th of July. And let me make it clear that this is a 6-day course in a group situation, followed by 2 hours of personal mentorship in one-to-one situation with the candidates. Your entire dossier will be evaluated. You will be given the correction to align your responses with the requirement of the SSBs. Now, young friends, let me come to the subject matter of today's video. Young friends, with my continuous involvement in dossier evaluation program, I'm finding a tendency that there is a lot of confusion between what actually you need, what actually you want, and what you are getting. Actually, friends, as of now, every single candidate is appearing with some kind of orientation or some kind of preparation, even if he doesn't want to go formally to any person. There are many sources through which he is getting some or the other kind of information and instructions or tips about appearance before the SSPs. Young friends, let us make a very critical audit of certain things. For an effective preparation, a critical audit is required about what you need, what you want or what you desire, and what is available to you from the various sources to whom you latch on for your preparations. Young friends, I'm sure you must have noted down the dates. I once again say, please log the date when the course is starting on 8th of July. Now, young friends, let us understand that for effective preparation, you need certain things about your preparation, schedule, methodology, and contents. And in that, we'll be understanding what actually you need, what you want, what you get, and what you miss as you are proceeding with the conventional methods of your preparations for SSB psychological tests. Young friends, first thing is that what you actually want. My continuous involvement with the dossier evaluation, almost on day-to-day basis, friends, I am doing a dossier evaluation. And really, I'm thankful to the environment that they have got now faith in me about my dossier evaluation methodology. I'm observing certain trends during my informal conversation during the dossier evaluation. Actually, most of the aspirants, I would say, they are approaching any coaching center, any mentor, any senior, anybody who they think can guide them well as far as the SSBs is concerned. You are approaching them with the expectations of certain answers from the external source. You need certain tips. You ask the people what to be written in this particular test, let us say. People, they are ready with the tips. It's something different that these tips, they don't work. You need certain prescriptions, you need certain contents. For example, what should be the theme of a particular type of picture? I mean, the story on a particular type of picture. So people, they say that this is the desirable theme. You ask for the solutions. Let us say in the situation reaction test, there are many situations where they are being discussed in the public, and people, they compete with each other as if what is the better solution or the best solution. And these solutions, then they are reflected, or they are shared on some public forum. Fundamentally, it is wrong, friends. Why? Because any test, any examination, any interview is the test of your own individuality and not something what you have retained and reproduce. Retention and reproduction is the academic mindset. Here, you have to show your behavior. And remember, behavior is not fixed. It is not something which is a fixed answer test. In the same situation, people behave in different ways. The same person behaves in different ways in the same situation on different occasions. So please remember, it is psychology, it is about the human behavior, and it is not about certain fixed answer. The answer oriented preparation certainly is not in your favor. If you are getting the answers from some external source, take it from me, and I repeat that it is not going to be favorable to you. What contents are to be written in SD? As of now, people are taking the help of some AI tool like ChatGPT. Friends, the ChatGPT or the AI tools are making almost similar contents for everybody who's approaching. And psychologist is sick of these similarities. Remember, your own responses are always original, and if they are original, certainly they will not be matching with the answers of or responses of the other people. You never realize it. Now, what you further get, and here let me tell you, most of it doesn't give me any pleasure for that matter. Most of the people who claim to be the mentors in the psych technique, qualified mentors, actually they have not studied psychology as their subject. It might hit somebody very hard. It might appear something which is very derogatory or insulting, but let me tell you, it's a fact. Most of the people who are available there on the YouTube or in the coaching academies, I'm sorry to say that these people they have hardly studied psychology as a subject. And why psychology as subject? Remember that any prescription, if you are giving to the person, it should be in consonance or it should be in harmony with the principles of psychology. Another thing is, continuing with the same matter, that is the ill qualified mentor. And this I am addressing with due apologies to my own brethren who have been group testing officers, who have been interviewing officers, and they have taken it as their solemn responsibility of teaching the people in this psych technique. Young friends, you must inquire about the credentials of your mentor, which you are not doing. And very unfortunately, you are so much ready to believe them that you are absorbing their prescriptions as gospel. Unexamined acceptance of the tips given by the people who don't qualify in the field of psychology have caused havoc as far as your prospects of selections are concerned. Further, what you get, jargon that have only the superfluous thrill or appeal. In my most of the guidance program, I begin with cautioning them that please, the jargon like OLQs, positive approach, they are not meant for you. They don't have any learning value. If somebody is cautious enough to take it for his own development, it is much fine. But let me tell you here again that you do not produce the OLQs consciously, deliberately, pretentiously. आप OLQs को प्रेजेंट नहीं कर सकते हैं because OLQs appear. OLQs are what? OLQs are the representations of your own merit in certain terms. They appear in the mind of the assessor and you don't, produce them consciously. One thing more, if your responses are being evaluated by multiple assessors, different people will be reaching different conclusion about the level of the OLQs from the same responses. I will stand with my words. I will justify it to anybody at any forum. Next thing is, friends, you are you are getting the appropriate methodology. Remember, you are going to a coaching center or to a mentor with a different mindset. I would say you must understand the difference between the mindset of an academic subject preparation and the preparation for psychological responses. People that tell you to go against the instructions, how do you like it? It's a matter of much frustration for any person who is a student of psychology to find candidates going, blatantly and brazenly against the instructions of the psychologist. If the psychologist says that you have to imagine a situation in the blank story, then and there, and write something which you have imagined, write a story on whatever you have imagined. But very unfortunately, there are people who tell that, okay, you can go with three or four well prepared stories in advance. They are telling you to go against the instructions. Friends, when we say that you have to imagine a situation then and there, it is with a purpose. It is with a purpose, and if you follow them, it is much more in your own favor. It is much more hygienic as far as your chances of selections are concerned. Don't go by the convenience. What is the reason of asking you these things are covered in my guidance program? You are given the number of pictures, number of words, just for the purpose of mechanical repetition. Remember, there is a proverb. I quote, the proverb says that rowing harder does not help if the boat is going in a wrong direction. Unquote. Friends, remember one thing, that the mechanical repetition is helpful when you are learning something which is psychosomatic, or something which is psychomuscular. Let's say you are learning to drive how to drive learning how to drive a four wheeler or play on a musical instrument. Practice makes you perfect there. But if somebody says that you have to speak truth in certain situation, do you actually require a practice? But you have been given a wrong methodology. You start preparing repeatedly, and subsequently, when you realize it's a mistake, then you see, sir, जब मैं इस चीज को देखता हूं वही पुरानी चीज याद आती है. Definitely, because it has been wrongly conditioned in your mind. Then, friends, you learn to suppress your own individuality and spontaneity. Why? Because you feel that the Guruji's instructions are much more superior. The best way is instructor's way. No, friends, best way are the responses that appear from your own knowledge, information, and skills. Remember, your responses have to be in consonance with the other techniques as well. For example, group testing and interview. Group testing and interview techniques are the interactive techniques. You cannot mask yourself. And when you take the responses from somebody else's mind, that means you are masking your own personality. So the psychologist gives a different observation, other techniques give different observation about you as far as the conference is concerned. What actually you need, therefore, not what you want and what you are getting. You need, friends, a coach and not an umpire. Here, I would like to tell you, most of the DIPR qualified people, if they have not studied psychology and they claim to be the psychologists, please, their status is, I repeat, their status is that of an umpire and not a coach. An umpire judges a person, or judges the move, judges any stroke in a game. I'm not questioning their ability to judge a particular move or whatever is there, but you need to produce a behavior. Let's say an umpire declares a ball a white ball, but umpire, is he qualified to teach you how to pitch a ball? No, you require somebody who understands the mechanism of the behavior. So do not believe the people who claim to be the psychologist without checking their credentials. Young friends, if you go on my YouTube channel, I have declared my qualifications and experience along with the supporting certificates. If I say I'm a postgraduate in psychology, then there is a supporting certificates image. You can verify it. It's open to scrutiny and verification. But there are people who say that I have been a psychologist, and then you find somebody is an engineer, somebody is a pilot, somebody has done a post graduation in geography, somebody in chemistry. Remember, these people are assessors and not psychologists. They are like the umpires and not the coaches. You require a coach and not an umpire. You require somebody to explain you thoroughly about the instructions and not to and how to follow the instructions rather than how to violate the instructions. It has to be connected with the job profile. If somebody says that this particular type of response is desirable, ask them why. Is it in consonance? Is it in harmony? Is it following the instructions or is it going against the instructions? Young friends, in my guidance program, I give a lot of stress on understanding the instructions, reaching the spirit of instructions. Only then your responses will be desirable. You don't need the responses per se. You need the conceptual clarity about the tests. And what you require is what you need effectively, rather, okay, is way to think and not what to think. Remember, you need, a stimulation to your own individuality. You require somebody to push you, to stimulate you, to pressurize you to come out with your own spontaneous responses. Young friends, here, I would like to tell you that I have been a great admirer of Lord Buddha. I have studied him quite thoroughly. And when Lord Buddha says that I will give you the path and not the salvation, मैं मार्ग दाता हूं, मैं मुक्ति दाता नहीं. मैं मुक्ति नहीं दिलाऊंगा आपको, मैं आपको मार्ग दिखा सकता हूं. चलना आपने स्वयं है. तो रिमेंबर, जो साइकोलॉजी की जो प्रिपरेशन है ना, वो इसी फिलॉसफी पर होनी चाहिए कि कोई आपको मार्ग दिखाए ताकि आप अपनी नॉलेज, अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन, अपने स्किल से आप खुद चल करके प्रूव करें कि यस, you are the person who is taking a claim for the position of an officer in the armed forces with your own ideas and not with the borrowed ideas. Young friends, I repeat here, to understand the psych test thoroughly, its conceptual clarity, please join my guidance program, which is starting on 8th of July. It is online program, Zoom platform, evening 7 to 9 for 6 days, and subsequently you will be having your personal mentorship with me along with complete dossier evaluation. Numbers are mentioned here. And now, friends, I'll tell you what is the process of registration. It is, as a commitment amount, please transfer rupees 500 using the UPI link which is mentioned here. Okay, or you can use the QR code which is mentioned here. After transferring this commitment amount, friends, please share the screenshot of payment along with your name on my WhatsApp number, which is mentioned here, 8884934016. And then please wait for the confirmation. I will give you the confirmation whether you are going to be included in the test, in the course or not. Friends, remember, my courses are very, very small courses. I don't believe in having a crowd in which most of the things which are the intentions of the instructor are lost in the transit process. Young friends, मैं ग्रुप कैप्टन A.K. Srivastava, Psych mentor, dossier analyst. My credentials are mentioned here. My contacts are mentioned here. You are most welcome to contact me. Before I close today, I once again remind you that my next guidance program is starting on 8th of July. Do contact me on the numbers mentioned here. Have a nice day. God bless you.